Hello friends, myself Nirmay Soman. Today I am going to share your book PPT on a book named Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Let's start. Before starting the book PPT, I want to share you something that the importance of book reading is good because it improves your focus, memory, empathy, and communication skills. It fires up your imagination and stimulates the memory centers of your mind. Reading allows you to learn new things to help you succeed in your work and life. Example, in my when COVID was there, I read so many books, and in that books I improved my focus, memory, empathy, and communication skills and learned many new and more things. So let's start. About author. Author's name was Richard David Bach. He he is an American writer, also known as the author of some of the 1970s biggest sellers. He has written numerous books of fiction. Next slide, please. Author's purpose. Why did he write this book? Let's see that. Next slide, please. Let's see. Previously, rituals were important and later freedom was important. But now, to make this world safe is the most important, not free. Means in in 50s, 60s, and that time, rituals were the most important thing we do. But in 90s, freedom was the most important. But nowadays, safetyness is so important. To achieve success, self spirit is the most important thing we need. Next slide, please. Part 1. I don't mind being bones and feathers. I just want to know what I can do in the air and what I can't. That's all. I just want to know that, said Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Next slide, please. Learnings from part 1 are generally seagulls fly for food, but Jonathan flies to learn how to fly. Means generally all seagulls fly for just food, but Jonathan was different. He fly to learn how to fly. Generally all seagulls spend their whole day in chasing the fishes, but Jonathan is different. He thinks that instead of spending all his time in chasing the fishes, he could be spending all his time in learning how to fly. Jonathan never felt bad breaking the promises he had made to himself, because such promises are only for the gulls that are ordinary. Jonathan Seagull discovered boredom, fear, and anger. These 3 points are some of the reasons because girls' lives are very short. Next, our one school gets over, second begins in our life. We don't stop learning at any age. Next slide, please. Part 2. Heaven is not a place and it is not a time. Heaven is being perfect, since perfection doesn't have any limits. Next slide, please. Learnings from part 2 are the most important thing in living is to reach out and touch perfection in that which they most love to do. Means example, I am a football player, so I need to touch perfection in that thing in football. So we all have a different careers and goals. In that thing we have to most we think that we love this. We need to touch perfection in that thing. Next, perfection doesn't have limits. Means in football, I learned techniques, but I I need not try it only one time. I need to try it many times so that I get I get perfect in that thing. Next, we should always have urge to learn new things. Means we should always have some craze to learn new things in our life. Next, it always works when you know you're doing. Means example, I am reading a book. Then in that thing, we have to imagine a particular word, a particular sentence, a particular page. We imagine it twice, thrice. That time we understand the meaning of that thing. So it always works. Means in imagining. Next slide, please. Part 3. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show are limitations. Look with your understanding. Find out what you already know, and you will see the way to fly. Next slide, please. Learnings from part 3 are: don't lose hope and don't think yourself a dumb or stupid. Like example, Fletcher Leland Seagull, who was the first student of Jonathan Seagull, and when he tried first time with his teacher Jonathan Seagull, he started flying. At that time, first he started flying very high and he was in a good speed, high speed. But in middle, he got low. His speed got low. So at that time, he told to his teacher that I am a dumb and a stupid, so don't waste time on myself. So from this story, from this incident, we learn that don't lose hope and don't think yourself a dumb boy or stupid like Fletcher. Next, everything that limits us has to be kept aside. Example, we children. In COVID, we children saw many time in we were in mobile and TV only. So that were that was us our limitations. So we need to think out of the box. Next, break the chain of your thoughts and you break the chain of your body too. Means as humans have lots of thoughts, like positive way, negative way, it keeps coming. But we need to break that thoughts and you break the chain of your body too. Next, don't believe what your eyes are showing you. All they show are limitations. Next slide, please. Part 4. Next slide, please. Learnings from part 4 are: we get to understand the 7 students and Jonathan through 7 pebbles. Means it was an incident. Actually, Jonathan expired in part 3 only, and his 7 students expired in part 4 slowly. But at that time, the flock of seagulls, who were the students of the 7 students of Jonathan, they they th- uh, they think that when 7 students of Jonathan expired, they were not understanding that where the 7 students of Jonathan went. So they first searched many times, everywhere, in the sea, in the beach, but the 7 students were not in a single place. So after some days, they got some 7 pebbles, and they then considered that 7 pebbles are considered now as 7 students of Jonathan. Next, weak in this world, who are weak in this world, they believe that they cannot face the world. Yeah. Next, thinking blankly that life is pointless, since pointless is by definition meaningless, means we need not think pointless things. We need to think meaningful things. So our life will be meaningful and pointful. Next slide, please. Complete book at a glance. If we follow our dreams, we can truly soar. Means if we follow our dreams, we can truly grow higher and higher every day. Next, this beautiful fable explains the importance of fulfilling ambitions and making the most of our lives, even if these goals run against the norms of our flock. Means actually, in first, the ladies, the women of a house were not able to study because it was against the norms of our society. But they were having a goal, an ambition that they want to study. And so if these goals run against the norms of our society, it's fine. Thank you for your time. Next slide, please. What have we learned today? Please share in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. The biggest belief what so many people have break today is 10 years old, 10 वर्षाचा मुलगा बुक रीड करू शकतो आणि बुक रीड करून तो कम्प्लीट करू शकतो. कम्प्लीट केलेल्या बुकवर तो पीपीटी बनवू शकतो आणि सर्वात इम्पॉर्टंट पीपीटीचं लाईव्ह प्रेझेंटेशन देऊ शकतो. सो हाऊ वॉज इट माय डिअर फ्रेंड्स? हाऊ वॉज इट? 10 years of Nirmay showed today. It is something that we all can do. We all can do. First of all, break this limit. की आपण पुस्तकं वाचू शकत नाही, आपण पुस्तक प्रेझेंट करू शकत नाही. जगन्नाथ, I really appreciate. At the same time, यश भवाळ, कन्सिस्टन्सी 5 वाजता उठतायत, थंडी असो पाऊस असो, ते रनिंग करायला जातायत, 6:30 वाजेपर्यंत त्यांचं वॉक, मेडिटेशन, एव्हरीथिंग. दिस इज समथिंग अमेझिंग. इजंट इट की ह्या वयातली मुलं हे सगळं करतायत. निर्मयने आज ज्या पद्धतीने प्रेझेंटेशन दिलं, द प्रोनाउन्सिएशन, द लँग्वेज इज अमेझिंग. ओके, सो तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी शेअरिंग करा तुमचे जे काही लर्निंग होते, किंवा तुम्हाला जर काही इन्स्पिरेशन मिळालं असेल. आज तर इन्स्पिरेशनचाच डे आहे असं म्हणायला काही हरकत नाहीये. आज आता निर्मयने आपल्याला इन्स्पिरेशन दिलं, तर त्या शेअरिंग करा. तोपर्यंत मी निर्मय बरोबर जरा थोडंसं क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स करतो आणि त्याच्या क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स वरती बघूया आज त्याला किती बोनस पॉईंट मिळतात ते. सो निर्मय, आर यू देअर?
येस सर.
Nirmay, this is our 21st book PPT, and the first time I got a book that I never read.
150 pages, 100 pages वाचू शकतो.
150 pages
वाचू शकतो.
in a day. In a day you complete. In a day you complete the book. Okay, so approximately 3 to 4 books in a week you can read.
हाँ sir.
Yes, good. Now tell me what you learn from this book. जे
Sir,
book तू आता प्रेझेंट केलंस.
ऍक्च्युली सर, ह्या बुक मध्ये माझ्यासाठी खूप इन्स्पिरेशन देत, कारण की ह्या बुक मध्ये एक गोष्ट मला खूप आवडली की त्याच्यात यांनी म्हणजे ऑथरनी सांगितलं की जॉनथन त्यांचा पूर्ण दिवस फक्त प्रॅक्टिस मध्येच काढायचे, त्यातून काही नाही करायचे आणि फक्त प्रॅक्टिस करायचे. विदाउट इटिंग, विदाउट वॉटर, काही नाही त्यांना. ते विचारच नाही करायचे, फक्त आय वॉन्ट टू फ्लाय हेच फक्त ते विचार करायचे. म्हणून ही बुक मला जास्त अट्रॅक्टिव्ह वाटली.
अमेझिंग, क्या बात आहे. What message you like to give to the people who are listening you now?
की परफेक्शन आपल्याला पाहिजेच, म्हणजे हर एक गोष्टीमध्ये परफेक्ट आपल्याला व्हायलाच पाहिजे, जे आपल्याला खूप आवडते.
ओके, सो परफेक्शनची जर्नी सगळ्यांनी करायलाच पाहिजे असं तुझ्या मते. म्हणजे
हा
कोणती गोष्ट ऑर्डिनरी करू नये, आपण त्याला परफेक्शन लेवलला घेऊन जाण्यासाठी कंटिन्युअसली काम करत राहिलं पाहिजे. व्हेरी गुड. अँड द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट, बिफोर द बुक पीपीटी, वेन यू स्टार्टेड रीडिंग द बुक, बिफोर द बुक पीपीटी, ड्युरिंग द बुक पीपीटी अँड आफ्टर द बुक पीपीटी, what was your experience?
सर, पहिले मला काही नर्वसनेस नव्हतं की हे तर खूप इझी आहे, हे तर खूप इझी आहे, जेव्हा मी बुक पीपीटी ऐकलं. पण त्याच्या अगोदर मला कधी असं नाही वाटलेलं की असं बुक पीपीटी असते. म्हणजे मी फक्त मला वाटलेलं की आपल्याला फक्त बोलायचं लोकांना की काय ह्याच्यात काय होतं, फक्त 2 स्लाइड आणि बस. पण नंतर जेव्हा मी बुक पीपीटी समजलं मला की कसं करायचं, तेव्हा मी थोडा नर्वस झालं. पण नंतर मम्मीनी शिकवलं आणि मग इकडे इकडे सगळं दिसत होतं की कसं करायचं, म्हणून ते कॉन्फिडन्स आला मग.
ओके. आणि आता कसं वाटतंय आफ्टर कम्प्लिटिंग द बुक पीपीटी?
आता एकदम कॉन्फिडन्स आला की कोणीही करू शकते हे तर.
वाव. सो नेक्स्ट बुक कधी देणार, नेक्स्ट पीपीटी?
तर ते नाही माहिती.
तरी पण just give a deadline. You are a perfectionist. So how many days you need to prepare the next
तर
PPT?
आफ्टर 1 month.
Oh, it's too much. 15 days. I'm giving you 15 days. 15th of October, you are going to give your next book. Okay?
Okay,
Take this
sir.
challenge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, PTY to Nirmay. Nirmay